This book is such an amazing read. I highly recommend it. If you have not had the chance to read it yet, you definitely should pick up a copy, get it for yourself. When you've been set up to lose everything you love, what is there left to fight for? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am reviewing the one, the only Sunrise on the Reaping, which is another 5-star read for me this year. I went to college like peak Hunger Games time, and it was just all that. So, Sunrise on the Reaping, I'll read you guys the little excerpt that comes with the book. When you've been set up to lose everything you love, what is there left to fight for? As the day dawns on the 50th annual Hunger Games, fear grips at the districts of Pan Am. This year, in honor of the quarter quell, twice as many tributes will be taken from their homes. Back in District 12, Hamish Abernathy is trying not to think too hard about his chances. All he cares about is making it through the day and being with the girl he loves. When Hamish's name is called, he can feel all his dreams break. He's torn from his family and his love, shuttled to the capital with the 3 other District 12 tributes, a young friend who's nearly a sister to him, a compulsive oddsmaker, and the most stuck-up girl in town. As the games begin, Hamish understands he's been set up to fail, but there's something in him that wants to fight, and have that fight reverberate far beyond the deadly arena. So this is a spoiler warning ahead. There will be major spoilers in this video. If you have not read Sunrise on the Reaping yet, save this video, come back until after you've read it. Okay? Cool. So this is obviously Hamish's story. And this is a story I feel like everybody in the Hunger Games world has so desperately wanted. God, I knew Hamish's story was sad. I did not think it was going to be this sad. So I read this book from March 23rd to March 25th of this year. I gave it a 5-star rating overall because, it's Hunger Games. I will say that I'm obsessed with Hunger Games. I did not finish. I did not pick it up again. I have no desire to try to read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes ever again. I get it. Snow is awful. I cannot read. I can barely watch the movie, and I know they chilled him out a lot. I can barely watch that movie. So, I probably will never read Songbirds and Snakes, like try to read it again. I hate snow so much, and he is just so awful. That being said, I loved the rest of this Hunger Games series. Like, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay got me through college. So I was so excited that when I heard we were getting Hamish's story, because Hamish is such a big part. And Hamish. Katniss thought she was pulling one over on you, didn't she? She chose all your friends as her allies. She didn't even know it. So starting off, Hamish's birthday is actually Reaping Day. Alright, so then we get to the Reaping, and Astrid and Burdock are there. They're like dating, but they're not. They're just dating. They're like little kids still. 16, 17, 18, whatever. So they're there. They're at the Reaping. I thought that was really nice to see. What kills me is Hamish was best friends with Katniss's dad. That's Uncle Hamish. We didn't know that. It's fitting. He pushed away the Everdeens, and in the long run, Katniss came and said, "Hey, no, you're not getting rid of us that easy." She didn't even know any of this, and she said, "You ain't getting rid of us that easy." So Hamish is actually not reaped. He's not picked. The Chance kid was called. He was reaped, and he ran away and got shot. And at this point, the cameras were on a 5-minute delay, so they were able to tell Hamish he was going up there. He was going to be the call because he tried to step in to protect his love, Lenore Dove. Lenore Dove starts getting attacked, and so he goes to try to help, and They're like, no, you're the one being reaped now. We need a new one. It's going to be you. Your name is not actually going to get pulled. So, fun fact, the first time Haymitch is actually reaped is the 75th Hunger Games. That is the first time he's officially reaped. He was not officially reaped for his games. They just threw him in. Anyway, this game is because it's a quarter quell. It's 2 boys and 2 girls who are tributes. So, Tim and another one of the boys. And then Maisley Donner, which is the mayor in the Hunger Games' twin sister. And Astrid was like BFFs with them. She actually gave up her whole entire life to go marry Burdock because to go live in the scene. Like, she was actually like not wealthy, but she was like part of the wealthier part of District 12. So true love is, so we got Maisley, and Maisley has the Mockingjay pin. And if you only watched the movies and didn't read the books, you wouldn't know this, but actually, Maisley's niece, the mayor's daughter, actually gifts Katniss the Mockingjay pin in the books, and that makes sense why she had it, because it was her aunt's. Funny little thing. And then his little childhood friend, who was literally first year in the reaping, 12 years old, Luella is reaped. That just kills Haymitch. That is his sweetheart. He only ever calls one person in his life sweetheart, and that was her, because like she had a little kid crush on him kind of thing, but so it's also kind of like when you see that and you think, you're like, who else did he call sweetheart? Oh, right, Katniss. And in the book he actually says that Katniss reminds him so much of Luella, and that's why the nickname just slipped out and it's just stuck, like, kind of thing. So, and who is the one that is filming them and escorting them back to the Capitol? None other than Plutarch Heavensbee. Sound familiar? Because he was game maker. He has secretly been behind this for years. 4 years. This book proves that he has been trying 4 years. So then you have Wyatt, who is the other male tribute, and he's an odds maker. He knows that their odds of winning this are like, so if you need odds, Wyatt's your guy. So then they get to the tribute parade. The horses get spooked and end up killing Luella. So District 12 is already down a tribute, and this does not get aired back to Pan Am. Like, this is all cut out. They have no idea that this happened. And Haymitch, being Haymitch, brings Luella's body up to Snow. Like, he makes a statement. So after that happens, they go back. They've only ever had one winner from District 12. Obviously, that was Lucy Gray. So they don't have anyone to mentor them. And in walks Max and then Iris. And it was just so nice to see them, because we really first got introduced to them in Catching Fire when they were in the games. But it's really nice to actually see them before the events of Sunrise on the Reaping, because the events that happen in the Sunrise on the Reaping directly relate to the reason they are the way that they are in Catching Fire. Alright, and we get into the training arena. One of the one or two, I think it was District 1's tributes try to attack Haymitch, doesn't go over well, blah blah blah. And we meet Ampert. And Ampert is another little 12-year-old boy. I was not ready to find out about Ampert. So yeah, he meets Ampert. He says, you have to go talk to my dad. You have to go talk to him. Like, please go talk to him. Ampert's dad is Beanie. And right away, the second I see that it's Beanie and I already know who wins these games, I know in that second that I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry so hard when Beanie ends up dying. Not Beanie, Ampert ends up dying. Because what are you talking about? Beatty had a son. What are you talking about? He had a son. We had no idea about. And he's a very similar situation to Hamish in the fact that his reaping was kind of rigged. Beatty got caught trying to take down the Capitol. And so they said, okay, your punishment is we're putting your 12-year-old son into the Hunger Games, and you can't do anything about it. Ha ha ha. So then we meet Egmont, who they are trying to pass off as Luella. She's somebody who was probably, they come to find out, was probably taken from District 11, taken from her home, or a prisoner of some sort, and they pretty much made her so she can't think for herself. She really can't do anything for herself. And these tributes really kind of try to protect her because they all see that this is not, they know that this is not Luella, and but they have to pretend or they'll be in trouble. So they end up deciding to call her Lulu so they can differentiate, because they're like, we're not going to call you Luella, like you're not her. They call her Lulu. She can't really talk. She is very scared and skittish and all that, and it's just really sad. But the districts kind of all get together. They start teaming up. You actually have districts 1, 2, 4, and 5 against districts 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So the underdog districts are all kind of like teaming up. Ampert is really trying to have an alliance. He thinks the best outcome for this is an alliance, and he is the one who kind of brings all of these people together. But Hamish and Lulu are actually some of the people that get some on board because they're like, oh, I don't know. And they're like, listen, nobody, but would you rather kind of thing. Um, so then they obviously go up against the people they're going to show their skills to. And Wyatt and Maisley both earn a 6. Lulu obviously gets a 3. And because of all of Hamish's antics, they give him a 1 to make him look weak. So people try to go and kill him. They think it'll be an easy kill. You're funny. You're funny. So the designer that they have kind of drops the ball and just like doesn't show up. So they call one of the other stylists, the sisters, who just so happens to be Effie Trinket. Effie and Hamish have known each other so long. So long, in fact, that they both became a mentor and like the one who brings them back and forth to the Capitol. That's insane. So Effie shows up to help. They go to their interviews. Caesar does the interviews. All right, so now we get into the Hunger Games. They are in there, and Hamish kind of just decides he's saying to everyone that he's in this thing, but he decides, no, the safest thing for me to do is to not bring them down with me and with my woman and everything, and go off on my own and try to figure this out on my own, because he has a plan. Plutarch's in on this plan. Beatty's in on this plan. He has to get in and destroy the mainframe to blow up the games. So that is what his goal is. That is what he's trying to do. And he says it's better if he goes by himself so nobody gets hurt. So he gets there. They're in 18 are killed in the cornucopia. It's 48 people altogether. 18 of them killed at the cornucopia. Sadly, Wyatt is one of them. And Wyatt actually died, we come to find out, when Hamish runs into his allies, that he died protecting Lulu. Say what you want about Wyatt, but he sacrificed himself to protect a person that he knew was not going to make it to the end. People suspect that maybe it was because he didn't want his dad to have odds on him or that kind of stuff, but we'll never know. I like to think that he grew an attachment to Lulu and wanted to keep her safe and protect her, which is adorable. And then, just when Hamish wasn't expecting it, Lulu found him. Lulu somehow found him. Hamish learns pretty soon on that the river is poison, basically everything in here is poison. So do not eat, drink, do anything. Lulu actually ends up dying pretty soon after. She, I believe, oh, I don't remember exactly what she did. It was either the butterflies or the river, but she was dying, and he didn't want her to suffer. She suffered so much already that he helped the process and ended her life for her. She was already dying. He just helped her. And then Amber found him. They found the mound of dirt, and it opens. That's how these what's it called? Mutts are getting out, and not all the time. So they actually find the one that they're looking for. They are able to get the bugs that are in there out, but like keep something in there so they're able to get back in. Hamish does this, and Hamish is like, all right, I gotta go blow this up. And he is successful in blowing them up, but Amber is on lookout. And things get very quiet. By the time Hamish gets back up to the top, it's too late. Like, there was not even a scream. These squirrels worked fast, and they ate all the flesh off of Amber. They just skinned this poor boy alive, this poor 12-year-old alive. All that's left is his bones. And the thing was that, like, these squirrels did not go after Hamish. These squirrels were programmed to find Amber and kill him. They had no desire. They left Hamish alone. Hamish was trying to get them off, and they just like ignored him. This was how the Capitol planned to kill Amber. It's disgusting. But anyway, blew it up. It didn't work. It did not work. But then we find Measley, and Measley is like, all right, let's stick together for a little bit. Measley actually saved him from Panchi, whatever. Saved him because they were in a fight, and she just showed up badass. Measley, I freaking love Measley. She gives me such Joanna vibes, and I love that for her. They learn that there's the force field around the arena too. Measley also had a somewhat similar ending to Amber, but it's because they felt like she cheated in a way. I don't know why. I can't think of this exact moment, but I know it was they like cheated death or something, and like they shouldn't have, kind of thing. So it was one of the career districts, and Measley, she realized that they were going to come after her. She's like, we need to split up, and she was killed by Goose. She fought the good fight. Rest in peace, Measley. And then the volcano erupted, but it wasn't like hot lava. It was cold, but it burned you. This arena just did not sound like a fun place to be. Not that any of the arenas sound like a fun place to be, but specifically this one sounded like a really less fun place to be. So then at the very end of this book, we find out that obviously Hamish wins. He threw the axe, it went back and hit. Anyway, so all this happens. Okay, that's the game. He's stuck there for a little bit. We actually come to find out that Lenore Dove and Burdock are cousins. And Lenore Dove is a descendant of Lucy Gray. So these stories are all connected. These people are all connected. So Lenore Dove actually taught Katniss's dad the Hanging Tree Song, and Katniss's dad taught her the Hanging Tree Song, and then we get that song in Mockingjay. It's pretty awesome, kind of thing. Anyway, they keep him in the Capitol actually for a few weeks, mostly because the whole thing was insane. insane. Everything that happened, he thought they were going to kill him for what he tried to do, what he failed to do. They didn't. So he takes the train, he gets back. It's like super early in the morning, and there's a fire at his house. They burned his mom and his brother alive. They died for what Hamish did. And then he's like, all right. He's like, it like really affects him. He's like, but it's okay. Like, I'm gonna get through this. I still have Lenore. But the whole time that he was in the games, Lenore was in jail because of what happened at the reaping. So she's out, and so he goes to meet up with her in their meadow, and she has jelly beans. He thought it was the jelly beans that he gave her before he left for the games. They were poison jelly beans Snow left for her. So yeah, Snow poisoned Lenore Dove and killed the only woman he's ever loved. Like what? So he lost his brother, his mom, his girlfriend, and losing those three made him realize that he cannot have anybody in his life because no matter what who is in his life, Snow is going to try to hurt them because of what he did, and he just does not want that. So he lashes out. He actually ends up hurting Katniss's mom, and that's when Murdoch decides that he needs to take a step back from their friendship. Peeta's dad is also friends with them, but Peeta's dad had already taken a step back from the friendship because it just wasn't but Murdoch really wanted to try. He wanted his friends to be in his life. He wanted his friend, and when he threw something at Astrid, that's when he was like, all right, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna keep doing this to myself. So he's seen Katniss, but he's not known Katniss in all this time. Yeah. So then Beetee writes him a letter, and basically his wife's pregnant again, and I'm terrified. I have no idea what happened to this child. I hope this child survived. There's nothing in any of the other books about anything, so who knows? Okay, so this book actually ends up ending on an epilogue of Hamish, Peeta, and Katniss, and he is actually telling them the story of his games, which I think so therapeutic for him. Finally, to get this out of off his chest. But also, I understand he didn't feel safe enough to bring this up before. Snow is insane. But he told Katniss that he used to watch not Lenore Dove's geese. He missed that. So she found him geese eggs, and he was able to raise the geese. This book had me in my feels. I was sobbing my eyes out. It's a 5-star read. If you're a Hunger Games fan, this is for you. Like, the amount of people in this book that are in the other books, it's just so good. I said this in my review of it, but I think Katniss kept the sun from rising, and that was something that that was a big theme for this book. It was like Hamish didn't want the sun to rise again on another reaping, and Katniss is the one that was able to do that. He sparked it, but she ended it. I guess I can read. This is what I wrote for my review of the book. Katniss kept the sun from rising. I thought, oh, I know Hamish's story. How can this be a bad read? I think I cried from the second I read Katniss's parents and Peeta's dad were Hamish's friends. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you love the original Hunger Games, this book is for you. We get to see the origin story for a lot of characters, but just have a box of tissues close by. And then there were some quotes that I really enjoyed from this book. There's this one quote. It says, "In every way, you are 1,000 times better than anybody in the capital. You are loved better, raised better, and a whole lot of better company," which I feel like is valid for anyone who's treated unfairly. And then there was this quote that from Ampert that he said to Hamish after Hamish brought Luella's dead corpse up to Snow, and he goes, "Oh, she's the one you made President Snow own." Yes, yes, he did. Yes, he did. And then we have Heavensby made this comment when he was trying to tell Hamish that the districts aren't the only one that wants freedom. He says, "You should know that, despite appearances, a desire for freedom is not limited to the districts." Because I think that's when he finally realizes that like people in the capital actually see how poorly the districts are treated, and they don't want that. And then I think this was probably one of the saddest quotes from Hamish. Like, my poor baby Hamish. "Where there is life, there is hope. But from where I'm sitting, hope seems a lot like white liquor. It can fool you in the short run, as you'll end up paying for it twice. Hope feels like drinking." And I understand that because it just doesn't seem like there's any point in hoping for him at this point. I don't think he starts hoping again until Katniss. I really don't. And then Maisie Donner, in her true passion, says the best quote to Hamish that goes, "One of us has to be the worst victor in history, tear up their scripts, tear down their celebration, set fire to the victor's village to play their game." And in my opinion, Hamish is probably one of the worst victors in history. Because, and now we see why, because he's honoring Maisie. This book is such an amazing read. I highly recommend it. If you have not had the chance to read it yet, you definitely should pick up a copy, get it for yourself. It's a 5-star read for me. I hope you enjoyed my little overview and review. I really enjoyed this book, and it just makes me cry. But thank you for watching this video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Keep reading, and I love you like all 5.